Welcome to the Network Marketing Made Simple podcast. I am your host, Scott Aaron, and each and every week I'm going to come to you with short, simple, and powerful tactics of how you can grow your network marketing business, brand, bank account, and impact on those around you. And just remember, network marketing is not easy, but it can be made easy with simple steps to create the success that you truly deserve. Welcome to episode 148 of the Network Marketing Made Simple podcast. And if you are a new listener, then welcome. And if you are a returning listener, then welcome back. And as always, if you are a network marketer, online business coach, or entrepreneur, new or seasoned to your profession, and you are still building your business through the means of Facebook and Instagram, and you are not yet harnessing and leveraging the power and potential that LinkedIn can have on your business, bank account, and impact, then head over to my website, www.scottaaron.net, where you can schedule a free 15-minute call with me where I can learn more about you, what you're struggling with, your business, and how we can potentially work together. So I'm never not excited about interviewing a friend of mine, and I'm very excited about today's interview because as we are approaching spring and heading into summer, it's just so impactful that I'm actually having this person on today because a lot of network marketers, entrepreneurs in general, use a word that myself and my guest cannot stand. And it's the word busy. And when someone says they're busy, it's just an excuse that they have not to do something. And the person that I have with me today is self-made in every way possible, personally, professionally, financially. Her and her husband have earned over 7 figures in their network marketing career. This woman has 5 children. She was building her business while 3 of them were in diapers. She did not finish college. And she's from North Dakota. And for those that don't know where North Dakota is, she'll tell you that, just to go to Target, she would have to drive 2 hours to get there. But again, I don't want to spoil today's interview, so I want this person sharing their story with you. So with that, Wendy Gendreau, welcome to today's episode.
Thanks so much, Scott. It's so great to be here.
So I kind of gave them a little bit into who you are and obviously the success that you have, which is not based around just you. You've obviously had to build a team to achieve everything that you've achieved. And you and I, we've coached together, we've spent some time together when I came to a speaking event last year, and excuses basically just keep people where they are, and reasons are the ones that keep driving people forward. So before we get into the network marketing journey that you and your husband have been on, let's go back because you do have a very diverse beginning and background. You started having kids at an earlier age, but also you didn't finish college, and you've basically been building yourself your entire life. So let's talk about that, where, at what point in your life did you realize that, I don't think college is or is not for me, but I need to start carving my own path?
Yeah, that's so great. So I guess we need to really go back to college when I, did what everyone does or what we're supposed to do, what is socially acceptable. And that is leave high school, leave the home, go to college and start your life. And so I was just being a good student, a good child, and going to school and not really knowing what I wanted to do. So I just picked education because I thought being a teacher would make a simple life. And in classes, I always told myself, I wasn't very smart. So I just kind of like hunkered down and pushed through. But I found myself in the back room of a restaurant one night just to help support a friend. I honest to goodness didn't really even know what I was doing there. She had just asked me to come with her. She was starting something and she needed some support. And so I was like, "Yep, you bet, not a problem." And so we ended up in this back room, and this lady was up at the front doing this opportunity presentation of this business, this company, and how you can join and the income you could make. And I was sitting there going, how is this possible? I didn't even know anything like network marketing existed. And I looked at it like it was the best kept secret. And so I always say part of my success was because I was so naive. I didn't know there was a stigma around the industry. I didn't know people didn't believe in it. And so I just thought, heck, this sounds amazing. I want to make that kind of an income. Let's give it a shot. And so that was really where it all started. I just didn't feel like college was my thing. I wanted to be a mom and I wanted to just own my own life. I wanted life to be on my terms. So that's where the dream really began because someone simply shared options in a room, and I said, "Why not me?"
So why do you feel, and I read articles all the time, you built your business with passion, with purpose. A lot of people have success in network marketing, but you also know there's a lot of people that struggle and don't. From what you know now as a top leader in network marketing, what what's the defining factor between someone that can and will be successful in network marketing compared to those people that don't ever succeed and they continue to drag their feet?
Yeah, sure. I believe it's belief. Number 1, first and foremost, it is belief, and it's not a "I believe today," right? Or "I believe until it gets hard," or "I believe until I hear a bunch of no's," or people make fun of me or talk behind my back. It's a rock solid belief that this is possible, I deserve it, and I'm worthy of it. And then you have to follow that belief up with commitment and action. And like I said, those aren't things that you just get to pick, you do one day and not the other. It is so from the very beginning, I removed the option to quit. And I'm a person of integrity. So it didn't matter how hard things got or what happened. I had told myself when I was 18 years old, I'm removing the option to quit. It's not an option for me to quit. And so that was what got me through all of those hard times was because no, I'm not running away. I'm not quitting. I'm going to hunker down and figure out. And so in the very beginning stages of my journey with network marketing, it was a lot of personal development of how to talk to people, what to say, how to handle an objection, because we are in the people business. This is not, I'm just going to go schlep lipstick or pass on vitamins or whatever product you are selling. We are in a people business. We are just so blessed that this people business is a personal development business disguised with a compensation plan.
So, in your opinion, having a large organization that you do, you've had people come in and out of your business. Why have most people quit from what you have discovered with working with them?
Well, number 1, they either don't believe it's possible for them. They think for some reason I'm special and I was born with a silver spoon in my mouth and everything I touch turns to gold. And so as soon as people, get some feedback or things aren't going as easily as they had planned, they just think the best option is for them to quit or that it's not just for them. Or the one I always love is when they say it just isn't working for me. And I love how I answer that one is I say, it isn't supposed to work. You are. This is just like a business like anything else. And so I think they just don't believe in themselves. And, it's so easy to join network marketing, low overhead. There's not in a traditional business sense there's not a lot on your back for you to carry. You can come in one day and leave the next. And so when things get tough, it's really super easy to just walk away. It's really easy to just be like, you know what, this isn't for me. And then they give up on themselves, they give up on their dreams. And I mean, again, we just circle back to we are in a people business. And if they're not willing to invest in themselves and personal development to grow themselves, it's just easier for people to just walk away.
And I tell people all the time that the only way to fail in network marketing is to quit, because you're basically stopping yourself from the ability to achieve your goals. Now, here's the thing. You are someone that personally doesn't have time for excuses, not only from those around you, but for yourself. You built this business with 3 kids in diapers. You now have 5. You live in a very, very uh, I would say rural area of North Dakota, where you have a small town where things, aren't close to you. They're not convenient. It requires you really having to, quote unquote, go out of your way to make things happen. So when someone that you're talking to is giving you these excuses that, they're busy and they're this and they're that, and what's your message to that person that's listening to this, that does not have 5 kids, that does not live in a small town in North Dakota, that does not have to drive 2 hours just to get to Target? What's your message to that person that is using busy as an excuse?
Well, listen, people will always find the time and the money for the things that are important to them. So if they don't find value in creating time freedom, or if they don't find the priority in creating, financial freedom for them and themselves, and they are just giving me a lot of pushback with excuses right away, they are just showing me in an underlying tone that they're not ready to commit for themselves. And so it is not my job to convince anyone of anything. And that's something that I've learned along the way in this journey. Now, in the beginning, I would have said something along the lines of like, yes, you can. You can work this in the nooks and crannies of your day, and, just be like me and get up an hour before the kids, or stay up an hour later, or, I would have gone along that route of really trying to convince them, trying to sell them on why it is possible for them. But now I've really just come to learn that people will show up when they're ready. And it is my job to love on them and then leave the door open and then let them back in when they are ready. And so now I come from a place of it is my job to inspire and motivate them. And then when they are ready to fully show up for themselves, that's when I step in and help equip them with the tools that they need to go forward. But if they're not even willing to get past their own excuses, they're not going to be willing to put in the hard work it takes to grow an organization, grow a team. And I always say there's no such thing as stupid questions, there's just stupid excuses. Because it really started for me when I was busy, 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 busy. 3 kids in diapers. I was nursing. We were opening up our brick and mortar store. My husband was working full time in the oil field and was hardly home. I mean, I barely had time to breathe, let alone shower. But I remember sitting there in my home going, every single one of us has the same 24 hours in a day. So if we can have these very popular philanthropists or business, gurus, and they're accomplishing massive amounts of action and results in their businesses, and they only have 24 hours in a day, they have the same time span I have. So what do I need to learn that they know that I don't know yet? So see, Scott, I think that's the key thing is whenever in life we run into a little hiccup or a bump, or we are in a trial season of our lives, we don't ask, why me? Why is this happening? We need to ask, what am I supposed to learn in the process? Who am I supposed to become through this? What am I missing? What have I not figured out yet? So it was in that time span when I started devouring any article, book, topic that had to do with productivity, working moms, how to get stuff done when I had toddlers and I had one crawling, one running, I had a 5-year-old I was homeschooling. I knew it was possible. I just had to figure out how. So it wasn't this battle of I can't do it, I'm not sure how, I'm just not going to try. It was this deep burning desire inside of me that I deserve this too. If this has been done before, it's possible. I just have to believe I deserve it, and I have to believe that I can do it. And so instead of giving myself excuses, I just started putting one foot in front of another. And so, like I said, I got up an hour before the kids and started responding to messages and reaching out to friends and family. And then after the kids would go to bed, instead of hopping on Netflix, I would pull up my laptop and I would respond to people. And I was just honest and I would say, hey, if I don't get back to you right away, I'm probably busy with the kids or changing a diaper. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And people respected that because I was honest and open and authentic with them. But it also came down to I just had this burning desire. It was going to work for me regardless. I was willing to do whatever it took. And so people saw that. They saw that energy in me and they wanted to join that.
And I think, the energy that you put out is the energy that you get back. And it's so important. So, you know, we're at the beginning of April now, and you and I both know, being in network marketing for the years that we've been in it, we're coming upon a 3-month run, basically from May until August, where people are quote unquote most busy. For the parents out there, the kids are finishing up school, they're doing summer camps, some kids go away, some do the sports camps, and 85% of network marketing is women, but there are a lot of men and fathers and husbands that do this too. And right now is when people are most checked out, because people go on vacation during the summer, their schedules have changed. What's your advice? A twofold question. What's your advice to the network marketer that feels overconsumed and overwhelmed during the summer months? But the second question, what's your advice to that network marketer that gets really frustrated because of the non-committal people that are out there that don't want to get on a call, they're too busy, and they're really finding themselves stuck in their business and stalled out?
Such a great question. I love it. So how I'm going to answer this is when my girlfriend called me and she said, "Hey, I found a company I think we should do together." And I was like, "Absolutely not. I'm sick and tired of having something else I needed to spend my money on every single month." I was at a point in my career where I thought maybe network marketing, wasn't going to be everything I thought it would be, and that franchising a brick and mortar would be. And if people looked at us from the outside, they would have thought we had it all together. We had a beautiful home, we had, the brand new minivan. But the reality was we were struggling to pay our bills. We were struggling to buy the diapers. And so to answer the first part of that question, we have two options. We can take our circumstances and our limitations, which are our excuses, and use them as a reason why we can't or shouldn't, or it's just not for us. Or you can do what I did. And I took all of those excuses that I don't have time, I didn't have time, I don't have the money, we didn't have the extra finances. I could have used those for excuses or turned them into the reason why I needed to try, why I needed to give it a shot. And so, you can use your excuses for one or two reasons: glass half full or glass, half empty, so to say. And then, it's taking that and realizing that it doesn't matter just because we're entering the summer season, if it's this or if it's Christmas season, right? Or if kids are just getting back into school or kids are just getting out of school. It's always going to be either an excuse or a reason. And I love this because when people give me these excuses. They may not realize it's an excuse, but they're going, oh my gosh, well, the kids are going to be getting out of school and it's just going to be really, we're so busy. We're so busy. We're going to be super busy. And it's just really hard when the kids are at home. Well, then that is the reason why you need to build a network marketing business to provide residual income for you and your family during the busy seasons of your life. And so buckle down now. And I think people really underestimate how much they can accomplish in a very short period of time, meaning 10 to 20 minutes a day. We have 24 hours in our day. If you devoted 10 to 20 minutes in the morning for reaching out, making connections, building those relationships, you can get a lot of momentum going. But people just get in their own head and let their circumstances drive them instead. And now I already forgot the second part of your question.
Well, for that person that, is serious about building, but they're really struggling finding people to talk to because, on the consumer side, or the person that is looking to build and expand their business, they're struggling because, people that aren't in network marketing, the everyday person is also very non-committal right now because of all the quote unquote commitments they have during the summer months. What would you say to that network marketer that is serious, that's not using summer and their schedule as an excuse, but a reason to continue move forward? They're just struggling talking to people.
Yeah. Well, that is just what you focus on grows. There's what 8 billion people in this world. And so I always say there's more than enough people. It's if you are focusing on the 10 super close family and friends you have, and you've maybe ran into a little bit of a roadblock reaching out to people, on Facebook or LinkedIn or Instagram, and then you just think that's it. Like that's the end of the road instead of like the questions I mentioned earlier, like what else could there be? Like where else could I go to meet new people? There's always people, and there's always people looking for a new product, for, a new opportunity. It's just we are always so blind to think, well, people don't have the money, people don't have the time, and people aren't willing. People don't like this industry. Well, then if that's what we're always focusing on, and then we're approaching people, we're bringing that energy into that conversation before we even open up our mouth. And so I always kind of play mental games with myself. And so I'll always be like, can't wait to meet my 2 new people this week that like money is no object to them. They are so excited to try what I have to offer them. And so, what I would say to those people is, take a step back, let's revisit your dreams, your desires, your goals, and tap into those and tap into why. Why do you have that desire? Because I believe God placed that desire in our heart for a reason. We just need to not get caught up in the how. The how is not our job. The how is going to reveal itself. The how is going to be that stranger walking up to you, asking you a question, and you guys starting a conversation, which grows into a relationship, which who's to say that might not be your best new biggest business builder yet. I always look at people like who do you know? Like who's to say that's not going to be my next millionaire leader in my organization? I don't know. But now twofold, like I also don't look at people with a dollar sign above their head either because they can sense that also, right? It is my job to serve. It is my job to love people and offer. It is not my job to decipher their answer for them. And it just goes back to the old saying I heard when I joined this industry right away. You need more people coming in the front door than are leaving out the back door because it's a constant ebb and flow. People are always going to be joining and people are always going to be leaving. It's just life. It's this world we live in. It's people. And so when you can learn to love people where they're at, you don't get so caught up in, well, my team's not working or I can't find new people. No, like we live in an abundant world. So look for the abundance. Look for the people who are secretively going to bed at night praying, praying for something to drastically change their life. Focus on that. That's what I would say to that.
It's funny the people that reach out to the most people are the ones that are always going to win. And the the reason why I see most network marketers not achieving what they want to achieve is because they're just not talking to enough people. They, instead of going for no, they're stopping and getting offended because they're not hearing yes. And the only way to get to yes is to go through no. And the person that gets the most no's gets the most yeses. And I think that's the most important lesson that I learned, is that it's a numbers game. Just like you said, there's 8 billion people in this world. And if you've only talked to a couple hundred, you got a long way to go. There's always someone that's going to be willing to talk. So
Even
obviously,
Scott, even a couple thousand.
yeah.
Like like, could people really honestly say, "Yeah, I've reached out to 1,000 people." Even 1,000 compared to 8, like, there's so many people, and the story I always try and convey, I'm a very visual person, so I love sharing stories, is the deck of cards. Whenever I bring on a new person, I always say, like, "Hey, listen, you get a deck of cards, just like I got a deck of cards. And let's envision each card is a person, right? So, like, let's say you want to reach out to one person today, you get to flip one card, right? What if I flip through 10 today, right? You have four aces, I have four aces. Who's going to get to their four aces first? So, is it going to take you a whole year to flip through your card, or are you going to flip through it in the first week?
Mm, wow. And that's so powerful because, you know, it's not so much your list. It's social media is such a great avenue for network marketing now, because it really allows you to build that know, like, and trust factor with people that, you may have lost touch with, or you're looking to build new connection and rapport with. So I remember going to a personal development event, God, 5+ years ago, and the gentleman who was leading the event called some of the top leaders that were in the audience up, and he had them go to a whiteboard, and he said, listen, I want you to go to that whiteboard, and I want you to, and these were all like multiple 6 and 7 figure income earners. And he said, I want you to go to the whiteboard, take this marker, and write down the amount of conversations that you had to have to get to where you are right now in your career. And 6 or 7 people did this. The smallest number I saw was 7,000 conversations. And I said to myself, I was sitting in the audience and I was like, geez, I've only had a few hundred. So I knew at that moment that every single one of us could succeed if we are willing to speak to the most people in a genuine and authentic way. So that leads me to my next question. People are listening to you, and you know you make multiple 6 figures a year. You've accumulated over 7 figures in your career. So there's people in here. Well, you've done it, Wendy. You've done it. Let me ask you this: through your journey in network marketing, what do you feel has been the biggest obstacle that you have personally had to overcome that has allowed you to achieve this success?
Feeling good enough. I think that is something that it might be safe for me to say that to some degree all of us struggle with feeling good enough. And for me, it's a lot easier. Failure failure is easy. Failure is comfortable because there's nothing to hold ourselves up against, right? When it really comes down to it, and people are really honest with themselves, they're really more fearful of success than they are of failure. And for me, the first 10 years of my journey, I had some success, not more not than some. And that was okay because it was a struggle. And so I knew I was constantly working on something. And then it was when my journey really skyrocketed and the success came very quickly, then it was a whole new level of, the saying new level, new devil. It was a whole new these people, like you said, some 85% that maybe don't receive that level of success. And so then it was working through those limiting beliefs of, why am I here? Why has God positioned me in a place such as this? And to whom much is given, much is required. And so people think that when you obtain a certain level of success, like, you're good, you're done, it's over, like, you don't have to do anything anymore. And my opinion now is this is when it's just getting started. I feel like now I am really truly just grounding in and really getting going, because I believe that we are here on a mission. We are here and we are meant to serve. And so now is the time to really truly shine and keep going, not the time to just like hunker back and be like, all right, cool, I've arrived, I'm good, I'm done. We always focus so much on the destination when really truly we need to fall in love with the journey. Because when you fall in love with the journey, you don't arrive at the destination and you're done. Like, our work is not done until our last day on this earth.
I love that. So, what would be your best advice to that person that's listening to this right now? Simple message that doesn't feel good enough, that, maybe before listening to this was thinking about quitting. And just like you stated earlier in the episode, has a severe lack in belief in themselves. What's your simple message to them?
If you are here, you're here for a reason. You are not here by mistake. There is nothing wrong with you, and you are not broken. If you have that tiny little shimmer of hope inside of you, you need to fan that and you need to grow that. And that voice needs to become louder than the fear. But you're not here by mistake. Just like our worthiness is not dependent upon someone else's approval or a reward or recognition. Our worth is based on the fact that we are here on this earth living and breathing. That's it. So if you're still here, but you're feeling deflated, you're feeling empty, you're feeling defeated, that's okay. Use that struggle and that pain to be the reason why you soar and you succeed and you overcome.
I love that. So, before I get to my final question, Wendy, how can people find out more about you and what you do? How can they connect with you online, whether website or social media?
Yeah, you can find me on all the socials. I prefer Instagram these days because it taps into my creativity side. And you can just find me at Wendy Gendreau, Gendreau on Instagram, and Wendy Rose Gendreau on Facebook.
Love it. Final question. There is no wrong answer because it's truly what this means to you. Wendy, what does success truly mean to you?
I love this one, such a good one. Success to me means loving who you are, owning your story and your journey, living your life authentically and unapologetically.
Couldn't have said it any better myself. Wendy, I just wanted to thank you so much for being here today. I know this message and this interview is going to impact so many. And if you guys are listening to this, take a screenshot on your phones if you are listening to it on your mobile, and head over to Instagram and tag myself and Wendy, and leave your takeaway, leave your big aha moment, or message Wendy directly and share with her how this episode positively impacted you, because obviously we get one life. And just like Wendy said, if you have that shimmer of hope inside of you, you got to fan it. You got to keep that flame going and that burning desire to move you forward. So Wendy, thank you so much again for being here today.
Thank you so much, Scott. It's such an honor, and I just always love spending time with you.
Absolutely. I feel the same way. So, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Please enjoy the rest of your days, and I will talk to you next time. Bye bye, everybody. Thank you again so much for checking out this week's episode. And if you can, head over to iTunes, search for Network Marketing Made Simple, leave me a 5-star rating, basic review. I would be grateful for all of the support you guys can give me. And again, if you'd be interested in learning more how to utilize LinkedIn to grow your business, your brand, and your bank account, head over to my website, www.scottaaron.net. Fill out the form for your free 15-minute discovery call so I can learn more about you, your business, and how we can work together. And again, thank you guys so much. Grateful for you all, and I'll see you next time.